आपको लिए चलते हैं नेशनल मीडिया सेंटर, जहां पर इस वक्त महिला विकास मंत्री मेनका गांधी इस वक्त एक संवाददाता सम्मेलन को संबोधित कर रही हैं।
Now, which is that the Gram Pradhan of the village can actually certify the date of the child. So what he does is, hello Mrs. Nair, nice to see you, our new secretary. So what he does is, he'll certify a 12-year-old girl as a 25-year-old. And on the basis of that certification, she then comes to India, where she goes to Majnu Ka Tila, is kept there till a false passport is made. And then from there, she's taken out with nobody looking at any border as to whether this 12-year-old girl is actually 25 or 12 or what she says she is. And she goes to the Middle East, and that's the last we see of her. And from the Middle East, now she goes to Africa. So we felt that it's about time that we brought in a Trafficking of Persons Act. The national provisions relating to trafficking of persons are primarily from the Indian Penal Code 1860, the Indian Constitution, and the Immoral Traffic Prevention Act 1956. The IPC contains provisions dealing with trafficking issues and imposes criminal penalties for offenders. The Immoral Traffic Prevention Act 1956 and IPC act as the main legislative tool for combating trafficking. The ITPA allows for the arrest of those engaged in acts of prostitution, but unfortunately, the victim becomes as much of a criminal as the criminal himself. Or herself. Most of the cases are registered under Section 8. As a consequence of that, victims of trafficking rather than traffickers constitute the largest number of arrestees. The Constitution of India forbids trafficking of persons and reflects in various laws, legislation, and policy documents of the Government of India. Article 23(1) of the Constitution of India prohibits trafficking in human beings and other forms of forced labor, making contravention of the same a punishable offense, and that includes beggary. Also, Article 21 of the Constitution of India guarantees that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to a procedure established by law. We have also ratified the United Nations Convention on Transnational Organized Crime and its 3 optional protocols, including the Protocol to Prevent, Suppress, and Punish Trafficking in Persons, especially women and children. India has become a source, a transit, and a destination for trafficking, as has even Bangladesh or Pakistan or any of the SAARC countries so far. It's causing a lot of concern to us because, as Mr. Somasundaran said, trafficking is the 3rd largest organized crime after drugs and the arms trade. We need to do something to arrest this rise. Now, so far, we have been working in different ways to stop trafficking. One of the ways has been to put posters in railways, alerting anybody to the prospect of a child that is being taken forcibly in through the railways. They can phone 1098, and the child will be picked up by the railway police and later on by Childline. We have also got trained and manned 20 stations of the railways, and we have found hundreds and hundreds of children weekly in these 20 places. But the point is, we have 12,000 railways, 12,000 stations. We have not taken those stations which are the start of where a child goes from. We've taken those stations where a child reaches. So we see those as more vulnerable. We also have got Childline, and Childline, as some of you who came with me to Gurgaon have seen, works in an extraordinary fashion, and probably the only one of its kind in the world, to listen to children on a minute-to-minute basis, and in February, March alone has dealt with 11 lakh in 1 month and 13 lakh in the next. And now, as a natural corollary to all this, we are coming out with a draft bill on trafficking. I would like to thank not just my officers who worked very hard on this, but Prajwala, Bachpan Bachao, and Gudiya, who were the three people who helped us draft this act. The National Legal Services Authority had submitted a report to the Supreme Court of India pointing out the gaps in existing legislation in handling a complex phenomenon like trafficking. It has pointed out gaps in the procedural and institutional mechanisms. There's a lot of interagency coordination and intelligence sharing is found to be the biggest hurdle in investigation and prosecution of trafficking cases. So the proposed draft bill is an effort to plug the loopholes and bring additional crimes which have not found place in the Indian Penal Code. It recognizes the safety of trafficking victims after rescue, as well as considers instituting measures to assist victim recovery and integration into society. The main concern and aim of the draft bill, which is missing in ITPA, is the prevention of trafficking. By creating an anti-trafficking fund, we look forward to rehabilitate the trafficked victims by providing them resources and protection to avoid being re-trafficked. Most importantly, besides providing rehab services at the special homes, we are extending it to victims who have left the special home and, in the opinion of the District Anti-Trafficking Committee, are ready to reintegrate to join mainstream society. The institutional mechanism created at the district, state and central level in the draft bill has members from CSOs to provide effective services as far as the prevention, protection and rehab of the victims is concerned. The highlight of the draft bill is that it gives victims a legal right for rehabilitation, making the appropriate government more accountable to provide the same. I would be happy to the last thing I want to say is that though trafficking is a cognizable and non-bailable offence as per Section 370 of the Indian Penal Code 1860, there has not been the required attention on this issue due to lack in legislation. The cases are not registered properly and very few are facilitated to a logical end. So this Act attempts to give more powers to the authorities to do so. I would be happy, any of us would be happy to take questions.
They'll make a presentation on the draft.
Oh, presentation, okay.
So, thank you, Madam Minister. I request Srimati Shada Ali Khan.
ये सीधा प्रसारण आप नेशनल मीडिया सेंटर नई दिल्ली से देख रहे थे, जहां पर महिला एवं बाल विकास मंत्री मेनका गांधी ने मानव तस्करी रोधी विधेयक 2016 का मसौदा यानी ड्राफ्ट जो है वो अभी जारी किया है और इसमें सज़ा को है वो बढ़ाने का प्रावधान रखा गया है और इसमें सज़ा को 14 साल तक भी करने के प्रावधान है और इसके साथ ही 1 लाख रुपए तक के जुर्माने का भी प्रावधान है, यानी जो नियम है उसको कड़ा किया जा रहा है।